Hey everybody, I'm Crispy Driver, and today I got a real fun one for you. The Toyota AE86 on iRacing. This thing is awesome. If you haven't checked it out, I highly suggest it. And I'm going to show off a couple races that I've done in it so far. The racing in this car just chef's kiss. Amazing stuff. So before I jump into it, if you like the video, please leave it a like. If you like my stuff, please consider subscribing. I really appreciate it, and I love watching my channel grow. So before we get into it, thank you so much and have a wonderful day. So here we are, starting 14th at the Okayama International full course. I get a good start off of the line here. Start catching up towards these guys in the back. Definitely thinking about taking it easy. I've never been in a lobby quite this big with this many people racing at once. Definitely one of the biggest changes that I noticed with switching over to doing this instead of the Mazda. And that guy behind us spins. The biggest thing I've noticed here is the lobbies were just all the way full. And that may just be that it was in the opening week. So a lot of people were online, a lot of people were doing the races. We barely skate our way through, and we start to lose it just a little bit in the grass, and oh man, and we snap right into the wall. Definitely not my best moment in racing. We lose a lot of positions there. You know, started 14th, but it looks like we almost end up in last here. So definitely not the best move on lap one, but I think I did plenty enough to try to recover it there. Not a lot of damage on the vehicle, so we can keep racing, and we definitely will continue to do so. And we do start getting the guy from behind us starts catching up. I think he definitely, I think he was involved in that first incident. So he's starting to catch back up to us, and I make just the tiniest mistake there. I could lose the rear end, but I managed to save it. Now at this point, I know as I'm going to the next corner, I'm trying to take it easy on these tires. I do tend to forget that lap one, you definitely don't have the best tires to be taking corners. So he definitely starts getting to run on me through here, and he takes a little peek there into that corner, but you can see a few people kind of getting tangled up in front of us there. So I think he's trying to kind of wait it out, hit that long straight. We'll be able to, have a little bit better shot at getting by me without too much problems. The guys in front of us are fighting pretty hard, and it's allowing me to catch back up. And my biggest hope is to be able to kind of catch back up to them and use them as like a buffer against the guy behind me, because he is just catching up. And I think the only reason I stayed as far ahead of him and through there is just getting a better exit on that final corner. Then he gets the better of me through turn one there. Just brakes a little bit better, but I keep on the inside as we go into turn two there. And as we do, a couple of people crash in front of us, and that kind of lets me slip on by and puts me a little bit more firmly in front of them. Again, a lot of crashes in this particular series, this particular race, and I don't know if that's just new car or what, but we'll go ahead and skip ahead to the end of lap two. Again, we're seeing a lot of fighting ahead of us, and what it does is just let me get right back into it, and had to cut out of my gas a little bit. Definitely didn't leave me much space on the outside, so but I keep it out of him, don't crash into him. He takes that corner a little awkwardly, kind of gives me a run up on the left side. But as I didn't know where he was at on that inside, I kind of took that corner a little bit safer than I probably needed to, which did allow the guy past. So, but the guys in front of us were fighting really hard, and as they go into the corner, they end up breaking each other out. So the guy does seem to get a better exit there on the final corner, and he's peeking me on the inside there, so I'm keeping a good eye on him. He does appear a lot further back in my rear view than what he actually was. And as we go into the corner, he does get that run on me on the inside. But luckily, going into turn two, that left-hander, it seems like you can stay to the inside of that corner. You're definitely going to get the better run because you can just take so much more on the exit. So I do stay out and ahead of him. even going into this corner. He does get back by me as somebody crashes ahead. We'll get another position through a crash, but unfortunately we did lose position there, and we skip ahead to lap 3 as we start to catch up again to people fighting. And that's what does allow me to kind of catch back up into a lot of these races is people fighting, as I've mentioned before. This car does kind of provide a lot of good racing. That's one thing I've enjoyed very much about it. As we start to get the run on this guy in front of us here. I was just thinking about going up on the inside of this corner, but I hadn't had the best runs out of it, so I took it a little bit more cautiously, a little bit more like I had in the past. Now it does keep me with him as we go into this back straight here. Again, I'm thinking about how I'm going to position myself, trying to make sure that whatever I do, I kind of telegraph it to some degree, so that way he doesn't make any foolish moves at the last second. But again, I'm just trying to stick with him here. I don't think I've got the run on him, but I noticed in the last couple of times we went around that he had not done so well in this section here, and I was doing a lot better, especially right here in this corner. I just nailed it, absolutely nailed that corner. He's kind of a little bit out as we go into these last couple corners, this last little section here. So at this point, I know I want to keep up with him. I want to stay within a couple tenths, but I'm definitely going to push to try to pass on the long straight, just because I know that's going to be the safest spot to do it. Not going to have to worry about him crashing into me or over braking himself. So I take that corner a little easier, just so I can get that better exit speed, and it pays off hugely as I get a run on him down the pit straight. I know he's going to stay there, and he's going to want to stay with me as we break into turn 1. But doesn't have much to fight it with, so we leave him pretty much behind and move right on to the end of the race, last couple corners. Not much else happened that race, to be honest, but being the first race that I'd done in this GR86 definitely showed me that these cars are definitely going to be fun to race in a full series. I really hope that they bring that to the game soon. I don't know if they have any plans to, but I definitely hope they do. Now, my next race, go ahead and tell you, I do start 6th in. I had a much better qualifying, and I was definitely enjoying this course a whole lot, the full course of the Okayama. I hadn't got to try that out yet either, so I wanted to mention it as well, that this course was a lot of fun to drive. I feel like it's got all the different types of corners you want to see in a racetrack, and it's wide enough that you can put cars 3 and 4 wide across that turn 1, and it goes okay. So as we begin race 2 here, again starting in 6th position, we get a pretty decent start here, and we stay right along these front runners. I don't know what seems to be the difference in getting these better starts in these particular cars, but I don't seem to do too bad at it. As we go into the corner here, I got that yellow car on the left side of me, and we managed to stay pretty clear of any type of crashes behind us. Going into turn 2 there, we do get a better run in the yellow car, and it seems like we're keeping up with the people in front of us, 4th and 3rd position there. And I tried to peek up the inside here, but it seemed like everybody was braking a lot later than me, and I didn't feel super safe as I was seeing smoke ahead of me, and I didn't know if somebody was going to be off the track or not. So I kind of let out of it a little bit more than I probably should have, and that definitely allowed the yellow car and a lot of the people behind me to keep up all the way up into the straight here. So I knew I had to kind of keep in mind that these guys were right behind me and definitely trying to do their best to pass me. So again, the guys in the front are fighting pretty hard, but they're staying fair and clean, which is definitely something that I've appreciated, even though these series don't really affect our I rating as far as I can tell. It's definitely nice that people still race with a lot of respect, which I very much enjoyed, because it's definitely not a lot of fun if you just got a bunch of people no breaking you into turn 1. As you see right in front of us, we got another car crash, and that's kind of promoted us all the way up into 4th position, with the podium positions just in front of us, maybe just a couple car lengths, but they are peeling away from me here. And I do try to keep up with them as best I can, but man, they are fast. Don't understand how they can get such better traction out of that corner, but they do, and they just leave me behind. Breaking into turn one, I'm just doing everything I can to try to break where they break and see where they're turning in, trying to just get as much as I can. It does keep me in contention here with third position for a good couple of moments. This third makes a move on second in front of us, and I'm wondering if I can capitalize on that, so I'm trying to take up the inside line, just trying to follow him through. We break down into the corner, and I know he's on my inside, so I'm being very careful to hold my line. He takes that inside all the way out. Definitely gave him, I think, a better run onto the back straight here, as he was able to stay just ahead of me. But I was able to keep that nose in, hoping that he knew that I was still there. Kind of waited to see how late I could brake there, but he definitely braked a lot later. So definitely wasn't going to try to send it into that corner by letting out of that brake at any point. So just kind of went back to my normal line and let him keep going, and hoped for the best that maybe I could get back up with him. Now we skip ahead to something I'm not super proud of, but during lap 3, just took a little bit too much grass there. Managed to lose 2 spots and my hood. So started driving again. I realized, I hadn't lost much in the way of the wheels or suspension. Everything was fine there. All I'd really done is lost a little bit of weight in the front. So I decided to continue on and just see what we could, salvage here. So we dropped from 4th to 6th, and we got 7th just behind us there, but didn't have quite enough to get by us for a little while here. So we skip ahead to lap 4 towards the end here. We did start catching up to the 5th position car, the yellow car there that had passed us after we had crashed. And he was doing a pretty good job here, but he went very defensive into that corner. I didn't quite understand why. He was pretty far ahead of me, but it definitely kept me really close as we're getting towards the final corner. And again, I'm just trying to take it super easy and roll that way to that car so I can get the better exit. But I just don't quite have it. He definitely had the better run on the pit straight exit there, and kept him quite a ways ahead of me. But send it a little bit to the inside, and he keeps that outside line, which definitely gives me a little bit better run. But it does put me on the outside for this corner, and he seemed to back out of it. I'm not sure if he wanted to stay in it or didn't want to fight that corner, but he did seem to back out and let me by. We skip into lap 7, and the gentleman behind us, position 6, has caught back up to us quite a bit, and we start moving into a more defensive line. I try to push that car just a couple feet off of the racing line, not far enough to really, put me in a position where I'm not still on the outside or inside, wherever I want to be, but just enough off the racing line to kind of make that person question sending it into a corner or just taking a little bit more extra into those hard braking zones. But he gets a better run on me through here. I get that car on the left a little late, but I managed to not keep myself out of him, and he follows me out and gets a better run on me on the outside. I got to give him credit, and I tried to keep up with him through here, thinking maybe if I can get the draft or at least get the better run out of that final corner, I'd stay with him. But honestly, he was running pretty good. He did have a little bit of a slip up there, which I think will let me get back up beside him. Kind of pushed it off onto the grass a little bit. So staying with him. And right about there, yes, you see, he started to lose it just a little bit, and I didn't have much anywhere to go. And I end up tapping him, sending him off into the shadow realm, unfortunately. Definitely wasn't my intent, but hey, that's hard racing sometimes, and if he started to lose it there, if I had been a couple feet back, he still would have crashed. So you know, all I did was expedite it a little bit, I guess. Um, but between here and there, nothing else, not much else happens here. So we'll skip ahead to lap 9. And right here, we're just getting into the last couple of corners. The guy behind us finally just loses it. He under pressure, he just couldn't quite keep up. So we're seeing a little bit of fighting ahead of us. I'm not sure if that's the result of what happens here. But as I turn into the corner, I see more and more smoke, and then suddenly, boom! There's another car. So we went from 5th back up into 4th position, right as we entered the last couple corners of the race. Just all again, this is a game of attrition, and if you manage to keep your car on the track and point it in the right direction, for the most part, you will find yourself in the top positions for sure. So overall, really great race, and definitely a good result. And I'm going to continue to try out the GR86, especially when it becomes a more fixed place in the iRacing world, and as that guy takes out his frustration on us. But I just wanted to finish up by saying I really appreciate you, and I really hope you enjoyed the videos, and have a great day.